The topic today is policy-based routing (PBR) on Mikrotik. Okay, so this is our topic, and then this will be our agenda today. Introduction, prerequisites. So I'll be talking about some prerequisites because policy-based routing is an advanced topic. So previously you must have some prerequisite knowledge in order to understand the concept here. So prerequisites, okay, we talk about that, and then after that we talk about the policy-based routing, okay, and then after that examples, okay, some example of PBR, and then question and answer. So about GLC itself, we are an Indonesian company based in Bandung. We are certified training partner for Linux, Mikrotik, and Ubiquiti. We also do other training as well, like HTML and then web-based programming. About the webinar itself, it is an event for sharing knowledge with various topics, not limited to Mikrotik, but also other topics like Linux, database programming, etc., etc. Our regular schedule is every 2 weeks, and then irregular schedule is as needed. You can check our schedules on our website glcnetworks.com/schedule. If you want to be a presenter, then you feel free to do so. About myself, my name is Achmad Mardiansyah. I'm based in Bandung. I'm Linux user since 1999. First time using Mikrotik since 2007. At the time, it was RouterOS version 3. And then Ubiquiti, I was started using Ubiquiti since 2011. Certified trainer for Ubiquiti, Red Hat, Linux, and Mikrotik. And about yourself, I think some of you already introduced yourself. Thank you very much. So I think we just skip it. Yay, about prerequisite. Okay, so these are some prerequisite knowledge that you need to understand. So first, you need to understand the firewall mangle. Okay, so what mangle is used, what are the options for mangles. After you understand mangles, inside the mangles, you need to understand what's the difference between packet and connections. And then you need to clearly understand what's the difference between packet marking, connection marking, and then routing mark. Okay, and then of course, because we talk about the policy-based routing, so yes, as a consequence, you need to understand how routing works. Okay, if I give you a subnet and then 2 routers or 3 routers connected to each other, and then all of them has connected to a network, and then on every router they have a routing table. So you need to understand how routing table works. You need to understand the columns like destination address, gateway, distance. Yeah, those are 3 main columns on routing tables. Okay, and then some of you may heard about the NAT, Mikrotik firewall NAT. Yeah, it's also part of the firewall as well. So which doing network address translations based on your action. So NAT can be source NAT, which means the source IP address will be changed. Yeah, or that could be a destination NAT. The destination IP address will be modified. Okay, so we assume you already understand this. Okay, and so once you've done, then we can talk about policy-based routing. So about the policy-based routing. So what is policy-based routing? So routing is done on the router. Okay, so as you can see, we have one router here, router 1, R1. Okay, and then this router 1 is connected to 2 ISP, okay, Ether 1 and Ether 2, right? So we assume you you have more than one gateway, yeah, to go to a destination, right? So for example, destination 0.0.0.0/0, so it means that you want to go to anywhere, okay? So that means you have more than one gateway to go to that destination. Because policy-based routing, if you just only have one gateway, well, doesn't make sense. Okay, well, you can do it, but what's the point? Okay, you just always go through um, that direction. Okay, you don't have any alternative to go to a destination, right? So that's the requirement for policy-based routing. Right? Well, yeah, because it's not requirements. You can apply policy-based routing on single gateway, but it's useless. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. How can you steer the traffic? Yeah. So a policy-based routing, because it's routing, yeah, it's all about routing, and then the device that do the routing is router. So PBR will be applied on router. What's the benefit? Well, we can steer traffic based on specific matchers. Okay, for example, we have LAN here. We have two LANs. For example, just only have one on the picture here. So let's say we have two LANs. Okay, in this LAN we have two networks. Okay, the first network goes this way, okay, through ISP1, and then LAN number 2 will go through Ether 2 here on the second ISP. Okay, so we can steer that way based on the matchers, right? Okay, so that's the simple explanation about the policy-based routing. Okay, hope you guys understand that. Right, so steps to implement PBR. Well, first, you need to create a route entry with the routing mark. Okay, that's the first step. And second step, you putting mark on packets, on incoming packets. Okay, so you have a router, and then this router connects to two ISP. Okay, and then there will be an incoming package from the clients that wants to go to the internet through these two ISP. Okay, so first step is to create the routing entry with routing mark. Okay, why routing mark? Because we want to apply policy-based routing. We have to, because not all traffic is done that way, right? So the routing mark, so we need that because it will steer the traffic based on the mark that is put on the packets. Okay, so that's the first requirement here. You need to create a routing entry with the routing mark. Okay. Next step is you put mark on the packet. So there is an incoming packet. So you have to put mark so that the routing table understand, okay, so because the incoming packet has this mark, and then I have to steer the packet through ISP1 or through ISP2. Okay, so in order to put mark on a packet, we can use route rules or firewall mangle. Okay, so here's an example. So first, create a routing entry with the mark. Okay, so we have two routing entry here. So on the left is if you want to go to 0000, gateway is 10.1111. Okay, so that means we go to ISP1. Check gateway is done. Type is unicast. Okay, scope standard distance you don't have to put it there. Here's the important thing. Okay, so you put a routing mark. So put the routing mark here is the via minus ISP1. So that means this rule will work if the incoming packet has a mark, and then that mark is via minus ISP1. Okay, so this is the important things, routing mark. Okay, and then the second rule is destination is 000/0. Gateway is 10.2.2.2, so that means the second gateway, ISP2. Okay, second gateway with ISP2, check gateway standard, blah 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 blah, and then here's the routing mark, okay, via ISP2. Okay, so clear. So first create the routing entry with mark. So that's how the routing table works for the PBR here. And second, okay, we create the route rules. So our objective is traffic from 192.168.1.0/24 will be forwarded. Oh, so I make a mistake here. Will be forwarded via ISP1. Traffic from 192.168.2.0, so this one is wrong, okay, /24 will be forwarded via ISP2. So please bear in mind that I make a mistake here. It's supposed to be 2, okay. So I repeat again, traffic from 192.168.2.0 here /24 will be forwarded to ISP2. So how the rule looks like? Well, it looks like this. So you define source address, destination address, routing mark, no routing mark, okay. So you can specify also input interface, okay, that's fine. And then here is the action is lookup, meaning you put a mark on the traffic, on the incoming packets, and then you put the specific table that was defined on the previous steps, okay. So that's how you define the route rule. So the matchers are here, okay. Matchers can be as you can see, source address, destination address, routing mark, interface. Those are the matchers that is used on route rules, okay. Okay, so I don't want to use route rules. Is there any other alternative? Yes, you can use a firewall mangle. So it's an alternative to route rules. So for example, here in general, you just specify chain is pre-routing, source address is here, destination is anywhere, right? So you don't have to put something here. And then you can add advanced, extra, blah, blah, blah. And at the action, you set up a mark routing. Okay, so new routing mark is via ISP1. Done. So every packet that is coming to the router will be steered based on the mark here. So this is our objective, yeah. Traffic from here, from 1.0/24 via ISP1. Traffic from 2.0 here will be forwarded via ISP2. So that's our objective, and then we can achieve that objective via using PBR, policy-based routes, right? So that's all. Well, policy-based routing is actually, it's simple if you already understand the fundamentals, right? If you don't understand the fundamentals, it's gonna be hard, right? So please understand the fundamental first, and then you can understand this one. So if you are interested, well, you just come to our trainings. Just go to our schedule here, and then you will see the contents. Right, so thank you for your attention. Please submit your feedback at here. Like our Facebook page on GLC Networks. Slide will be uploaded on SlideShare, and recording will be available on YouTube. Right, so any questions? So once again, policy-based routing is actually, it's simple, okay? With one note, you already understand the basics. Okay, so what are the basics like I was explained before? Okay, so we have a question here. Is it possible to use PBR and failover? Yes, it is possible. So the function for PBR is to steer the traffic, okay, via go ISP1 or ISP2. And then the purpose for failover is checking. So for example, you can use a failover technique with the ECMP, okay, or with the what is it, um, like a routing mark, okay, like a load balancing. Yeah, we can use that one. Yeah, so if one connection down, and then we just use the other links. Okay, so of course if we have two links, one link goes to ISP1, the other link goes to ISP2. When the link goes down, all connections will go to the live ones. Okay, so well, PBR, you can mark on PBR, but okay, but when you steer the traffic to ISP2 and then ISP2 is down, of course the routing mangles will be useless. Okay, and then it will use the main routing table. Right, so hope you understand. Anything else? Any other questions? Okay, any questions? Any other questions? Okay, I hope you understand the explanations. Okay, so hopefully that one answers the questions. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, once again, policy-based routing is yeah, well is simple. Yeah, so you have one LAN here, and then you want to steer the traffic based on the mark that is put on incoming packets. Okay, so once you have that, and then you can steer the traffic. As simple as that. So make sure you understand the prerequisites here. Okay, firewall mangles, and then the routing, how routing works. Okay, how firewall works, how what's the difference between packet mark, connection mark, and routing mark. Okay, yeah, so should be very simple. Okay, any questions? So this topic is will be discussed deeply on Mikrotik training, MTCRE, and then if you are interested, we have BGP. We have BGP workshop on next month. Okay, so BGP is another advanced topic. Okay, so if you take that workshop, we assume you already understand you understand the routing concept, you already understand the dynamic routings. Okay, and then we talk about BGP. All right, so any more questions? Thank you very much for those who already sent their questions here. Okay, right, so if there is no questions, and then I think we have concluded that PBR is simple. Okay, so you can achieve PBR by using route rules or firewall mangles. Oh, okay, I have one question here. So which one is better between route rules or firewall mangle? Well, yeah, route rules, as you can see, it has yeah, very good questions. Route rules has limited number of matchers, only source, destination. As you can see here, so matchers on route rules is just these four. Okay, source address, destination address, routing mark, interface. Done. Okay, only those four. But if you use firewall mangle, okay, matchers can be more flexible, right? So that's the difference, I think. And then I think from the performance point of view, because route rules is embedded in the routing processing, so policy routing rule here, as you can see, uh, is using less CPU. Okay, so route rules is using less CPU, and then Firewall Mangle is using more CPU because it's part of firewall processing. All right, yeah. So I hope that answered the questions. Okay, so if any more questions. Right, if no questions, I think we can conclude that the webinar is over. Thank you very much. For coming. Yeah, we'll see you again in the next 2 weeks. Okay, with different topics. Okay, so if you're interested, check our schedules, and then if you're interested, you can apply. If you have a interest with a particular topic for a training, you can ask our admin. Just send an email to contact@glcnetworks.com. Right. Okay, so that's all. Thank you very much once again. See you later.